Hello everyone. Today we'll be reading the X-Files. Perfect. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Stars filled the night sky over Iraq. They were dazzling as diamonds above the dark desert. There were no clouds or moon or blaze pollution to blur their brilliance. The drifting smoke from oil fires in nearby Kuwait was history. The Gulf War had set the region ablaze, had ended years ago. Only one thing disturbed the peaceful scene: the vapor trail of a jet plane sticking across the sky. The plane was tube-full TV-22 Blinder attack jet, one of Russia's most advanced fighters, given Iraq before the Gulf War. Had been one of the few to survive the crushing defeat at the hands of America and her allies. Its pilots could thank his lucky stars that he had survived as well. Zandin Janati had still been in training when the war ended. By the time he won his wings, the sky was safe again. He could fly, but shows little worry of attack. He could relax behind his air mask and enjoy the beauty of the night. At heart, Janati was poet. He gazed at the stars, some shining alone, others in thick cluster. Page 2 of the X-Files. He tried to think of words to capture their splendor, as a rap poet had for thousands of years. Suddenly, Janati stopped being a poet. He was all fighter pilot with a job to do. His job was to protect Iraq from air intruders. He spotted one now. It was still far away, as small as the stars around it, but it was swiftly getting bigger and brighter. A second later, he could make its shape like a cigar. Its lights were dropping different colors: red, green, and blue. Janati looked at his radar screen to confirm his sighting. The screen showed nothing. Janati shot a look at the object again. It was moving across the sky in a razor-sharp straight line. As Johnny watched, it stopped and hung motionless, but its lights continued their frying. Johnny's brow furrowed. His radar must be on the blink. He wasn't surprised. The Air Force was short of parts, not to mention mechanics. He'd have to depend on his eyes. He squinted at the object. He was trained to identify every known kind of aircraft, both hostile and friendly, but this one was new to him. He snapped on his radio and contacted his own base. Oh, shoot. Oh. I'll have it to hear, a voice answered in Arabic. Good, Janati thought. He knew all Hadaniti, a very reliable radar technicians. Not like some of the new ones, pressed into services to replace those killed in the war. Base, this is Patrol 6, Janati said. Request ID on object 25 miles from my position, bearing 340. There was a pause. Then, over crackling static, Hadati responded negative on object. No sign of anything in that area. Are you sure your hearing are correct? Janati rechecked his instrument. Absolutely correct, he said. That is, if my instruments are working. Please take another radar reading. Again, there was a pause. Again. Hadi reported negative, no object sighted. Janabi bit his lip. He never did trust Russian radar. He looked out his window again. The object was gone. Hello, Al-Hadidi said. Do you still have visual contact with unknown object? No, I have lost it, Janati said. But I'm positive that there was one at the moment ago. That was as far as he got. Blinding light exploded almost at the top of his plane. A deafening whoosh drowned out the radio. Incredible. Janati's heart seemed to stop. He sat frozen at his controls. Suddenly, the light and sound vanished. Janati realized he had been holding his breath. He was letting out a sigh of relief when he heard Al-Hadi screaming over the radio. Rider shows you are under attack. I'm just warning you at high speed, incredibly high speed. Take evasive action and go into attack mode. Gennady needed no promoting. He was already zooming upward and zigzagging. His eyes narrowed as he peeled off into an attack on whatever was flying below. He couldn't see it, but he had an electronic weapon guidance system to do his seeing for him. Its lights began flashing. I'm locked on target, he announced over the radio. You are cleared to commence firing, Al-Hadati told him. Gennady pressed his right-wing weapon, release button. He watched at the heat-seeking missile shoot from his plane. Seconds later, the sky was lit. A tremendous yellow and orange fireball. It's a hit, Gennady exploded as he backed his craft up and away from the flames. I got him. Good work, Al-Hadati called him. Please return to base and give full report. Only then did Gennady realize that the night sky work was far from over. He had no idea whom or what he had hit. He wouldn't have a clue until someone found the pieces below. He could only pray it turned out to be an enemy. Gennady sighed. He braced himself for a long session of questions without answers back at the base. He could think of only one thing he had going for him. He couldn't be blamed for a mistaken kill when nobody knew the victim. What? Mumbled Surgeon Eustace Miller. A loud bang woke him from a pleasant dream of home. Some kind of sonic boom specialist first class, Horace Keller said from a nearby cot. His voice was groggy with sleep. Never heard no boom like that before, Miller said. We better take a look. And you was just complaining today how dull it was around here, Keller said as he pulled on air fatigue pads. Neither of the two American soldiers wasted time putting on their boots before they headed out of their hut. They belonged to NATO forces in Turkey, keeping watch on Iraqi border in case. The Iraqis hadn't learned their lesson. This was the first sign of trouble since they had arrived 4 months earlier. They stopped as soon as they were out the door. In the woods a few hundred feet away was a wreck of something burning. Looks like a crashed jet, Miller said. I'll get the fire extinguisher, said Keller. You know ours. First we have to report it without delay, said Miller. Anyway, not much chance anything's still alive in it. Yeah, said Keller. Besides, $2 donuts, the pilot ejected. They went back into the hut. Their hut was primitive, but the radio was state-of-the-art. A touch of a button, and Miller was in contact with headquarters. Southern Crescent to Red Crescent, he said. We got a downed aircraft at the edge camp, maybe one of ours. The voice the radio replied. Southern Crescent, that's a negative. We have nothing in the sky at this time. Well, we got something burning here on the ground, Miller said. Advise medical unit to be on the alert. They may have to handle injured personnel. We're checking out the wreck at the surroundings area now. Report immediately on your findings, the voice commanded. Yes, sir, Miller said, and turn off the set. I've got the extinguisher, said Keller. I'll take the first aid kit in case we find anyone alive anywhere, said Miller. Outside the hut, Miller stared up at the sky. What in the devil is that, he asked. Above them a bright strutting light flashed red, green, and blue. Maybe a shooting star, Keller guessed. Shooting stars don't just hang there like that. Miller said. Who knows, said Keller with a shrug. All kinds of weird things in the part of the world. Yeah, Miller agreed. Anyway, we can't stand around digging the light show. We got orders to check out the wreck. Well, remember what they told us in special training, said Keller. Expect the unexpected and be ready for it. Right, said Miller, as they warily approached the wreck in the woods. Except, how can you be ready for something you can't even guess? Meanwhile, above them, the light still hung. They're stopping a coded message. No human could. Well, we got to chapter 2, which is really good. So thank you very much for watching. Yeah, we already got through 7 pages, and that was a good chapter. Good.